Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, the Tanya Takeover, where I'm your girl Tanya, and today we're going to be talking about the things that I learned in my 30s. Now, you guys know on my channel I'm always talking about credit and my career story and everything like that, but now I'm trying to tell you guys what I actually learned in my 30s. Now, if you're anything like me, your 20s were for your mistakes, whether it was guys, money, career-wise, school. I have been through it all. I've been there, done that. And there are just some few tidbits that I learned along the way. And if you're going through it now or you're still in your 20s and you want to be prepared, let's talk about it. Let's discuss the things that I've learned because I could write a book, okay? So if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe at the bottom, and let's get started. Guys, when I turned 30, I'm not saying that the world opened up and I was fully enlightened, but I had made enough mistakes to know that I wasn't going to do that again. I was going to learn from it, move forward, and get my stuff together. So that's exactly what I did. Honestly speaking, I didn't start my first business till the week before my 30th birthday. And I would not go back. I'm telling you guys. So the first thing I would say that I learned in my 30s was to be the company that you keep. This. I'm telling you guys, this is the main thing that I learned. I think it's the most important thing. Actually, they're all important, but this is at the top of the list because I learned that when you keep negativity around you or people who are constantly talking about other people or catty nonsense around you, it just drains your soul. You don't move forward. You can't propel yourself forward because you're constantly having to think about, if this person is talking about this person, are they talking about you too? And I don't have time for that, and neither do you. At this age or in this decade of our lives, now's the time to be putting our best foot forward. And in order to do that, we have to surround ourselves with the best people we can. People who are striving to do better. People who are going and doing things. People who want something for themselves. And you can tell the lazy ones, you can tell the catty ones. I mean, you can always tell. If they come to you and they're like, this person doesn't wear this brand and this person didn't get her this done, you don't want anything to do with that because you are in a place, you're in a mindset that you are trying to build your future and you are trying to do better for yourself. We don't have time for childish games. We don't have time for catty nonsense. And I can tell you stories upon stories about, girl beef and just drama that you don't have time for. So I would definitely say I learned to be the company that I keep. Now the people that I have around me are business owners. They are, women with families and integrity. And now seeing them and hanging out with them and even having conversations with them, we're able to bounce ideas off of each other. So guys, this brings me to my last video. If you haven't seen my last video on how to keep your circle tight, go check it out. Keep the fake friends around you because we don't have time for that. The second thing I learned is life doesn't always go according to plan. Stop being one of those people who say, I have to be married by 30, a kid by 32, 2.5 kids by, 33, with a husband and this career and this with this house. And life doesn't work out like that. Things that happen in our lives happens when it's supposed to. You can't stress about things that aren't going right in your life. You have to focus on the positive that's going on in your life instead of stressing about the things you don't have yet, the things you want, the things that you can't get. Life doesn't always happen that way. Not everybody is meant to have the husband and the kids and the mansion. Maybe you're gonna have the mansion first and the husband and kids will come. I mean, everybody's story is different. You can't compare yourself to anybody else because this is your story and it depends on how you write it. When we stress about things that haven't happened yet, I feel like it kind of puts off that energy. It kind of gets you in the mindset that it's never gonna happen, it hasn't happened yet, or even worse, you'll end up settling for, what you don't want to happen, or settling for a career that you weren't interested in, or settling for a man that you didn't want. So All I'm saying, ladies or gentlemen, is to be patient. Life doesn't always go according to plan. This is your story, write it your way, and you'll see that everything will work out just fine. There was a period in my life when I just thought that, everything, like I did it all right. I had the career, and then I did, I went into business for myself, and then I moved out. I did everything that was on sequence for my life. And then I'm like, okay, so why isn't this part working out for me? Why am I not married yet? Why don't I have kids yet? But when I sit back and think about how many lives I've reached or was able to touch, or how much I was able to give back by even not having children but to other children around me, I realized that there's a specific plan for me, and there's a story for me, and everything is going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Be patient. When you're not patient, you end up settling. I could have settled for, anybody and everybody under the sun. But when you have standards and you're patient, everything works out the way it's supposed to. It depends on how your story goes and what's supposed to happen. But if you sit and stress about it and keep harping and, wishing and praying under a star that, oh my goodness, this is gonna happen, I'm gonna get this dream car, or I'm gonna get this dream man, it doesn't happen that way. So definitely be patient. Life doesn't go according to your plan. There's a plan out there for you. It's gonna happen, but just wait for it. The next thing I learned is definitely to travel more. Now, if I could tell you guys how many trips I have passed on because I had to get, my work in order. I had this bill due, and I was like, okay, let me do some overtime. I'm gonna miss this trip so I can pay this and do this, or I'm gonna miss this trip because, I gotta get, something right for my business or something right. Now looking back at it, now that we cannot travel and everything's banned and we are stuck, now is a time where I'm looking back at all those times where I took going on a beach for granted. Now I'm like, okay, well, I should have traveled more. I should have went. That time when my friend invited me, I should have went. Because now we're not able to. But just because, we're not able to travel, I myself have been doing a lot of local trips, just seeing things in my area that I wouldn't normally get to see. I'm going to the Poconos, or I'm driving to this state or this part even in my area that I'm discovering. So there's things that you can do. Even though we can't travel, we could still make, little get-togethers close to home, or little driving trips or things like that. Of course, still keeping it safe. But I definitely learned to travel more, get out, see the world, meet new people, learn new cultures, maybe learn a language, and just branch out of my comfort zone. And that's something definitely that I regret, not traveling more. But don't worry, I have this situated. I am definitely fixing that this year. The fourth thing I would say that I learned is to pay attention to your skin. Just because you are a certain color or a certain ethnicity or anything like that doesn't mean that your skin won't crack. So definitely pay attention to moisturizing your skin. Definitely use retinol, collagen, take your vitamins. Vitamin C is really good. And just do what you need to do for your skin, because your skin is an organ. I don't know if you guys know that, but your skin is an organ. So treat it well, treat it good, and it will treat you well. Stay hydrated and just pay attention. A lot of people are, because of this shade of melanin, it doesn't crack. But it's not true. You have to nurture it. And I've seen actually firsthand that it actually does crack. So don't take it for granted. Everything that we get, everything that you're putting on your skin matters. So I've definitely been upping my moisturizing game, using products that I love. And you definitely should start incorporating that into your routine. Whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, or if you're 40s, 50s, 60s, it's not too late. Get that moisturizer and take care of that skin. Wrinkles are not the business. The fifth thing I would say I learned in my 30s was don't be afraid to spend your money. Now, you work every day, you go into that job that, you're driving in traffic to get to, you are tired when you get home. Why not treat yourself? When I'm saying don't be afraid to spend your money, I'm not saying waste it. I'm not saying go out and buy that bag you can't afford. But you owe it to yourself to give yourself a little treat. Honestly speaking, I have a lot of stories where people sit there and they so hell-bent on saving their money that tragedy happens and something happens and they're not able to spend their money. And then you look back at them and say, what was all that working for? If you're working and you can't treat yourself, what is the point? Now, there's different kind of savings that you can open. With myself, I have like 4 kinds of savings. I have my expensive splurge savings, and then I have my clothes savings, and then I have my vacation savings, and then I have my savings for an emergency. And what I usually do is just get money direct deposited into each, depending on my lifestyle and things that I want to do to enjoy myself. But don't be afraid to spend your money. You work hard for it, you deserve it. Why not? Why not treat yourself? You cannot take the money with you, guys. So just as long as you're doing the right things, the smart things with your money, you'll be just fine. Get that watch that you want and just do it the right way. Make sure that when you're working to enjoy your life, not just to pay a bill. Let me be the first one to tell you, as somebody who saves their money, invests their money, and does it all, don't work just to pay a bill. Your bills will always be there. There is rarely people out there who are completely debt-free. There's always going to be a mortgage that you owe, a phone bill you owe, a car note that you owe. We need bills to live and survive. There's no getting around it. Just don't be a slave to it. Make sure you're enjoying your life too, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. So live today like it's your last, and treat yourself, splurge, and treat yourself the right way. It's okay to be a little bit selfish. The 6th thing I learned is save to invest. Now, I was going to talk a little bit about our finances, right? It wouldn't be my channel if we didn't. Now, I always save to invest. It's definitely smart to save to invest. Make sure you're not just saving the money because, if you save for a year, the most the bank will give you is maybe $2 on that interest rate, where you could have invested it in real estate, flipped it and made a couple $100,000 or a couple thousand off of it. So, save to invest. Make sure that you're making your money work for you, and you will be just fine. The next thing I learned myself, and this was a hard one for me, is don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, when I first started my business, I jumped out the window. I just ran for it. I didn't know nothing about a business. I didn't know anything about a payroll. I didn't know anything about taxes or any of that, because I was too strong and proud to ask for help. But now in my 30s, I've learned that, it's okay to ask for help and advice and, just play off of people's ideas for you. Don't be so strong and wrong. Think of people who have done it before you, people who are going through it, so that you can learn from their mistakes and grow off of it. If I would have asked for help when I started my business, I feel like my business would have taken off a lot faster and sooner. And that was the point of my channel too, to just help people who are going through it like I went through it, and you just feel like there's nobody you can ask. Pride comes before the fall, and that's a good way of telling you that, instead of being so proud that you fall flat on your butt, ask for help and get somebody that can help you with whatever it is, whether it's school or it's a career or it's a career move. You are your biggest supporter, you're your biggest fan, and you are the only person that can hold you back. So don't be afraid to reach out and put yourself out there, promote yourself. If you need help with a business and you want to collaborate with somebody, don't be afraid to reach out to that person and tell them everything that you have to offer, everything that you're a great learner and that you are able to listen and take advice, and reach out to that person. Now with this one, I feel like I'm talking to myself because I am so shy. I hate asking for help. I hate reaching out to people. But this is something that I'm still working on myself, and I am a work in progress, guys. If I could tell you that I do not have it all together, your girl is a work in progress. So that's one thing that I am learning and I'm trying to get better at, is asking for help. The next lesson I would say that I learned definitely was to have goals and be deliberate. When I act or do anything now, I make sure that I have my goals, my strategy, everything written out. My motto is plan, write, then act. Okay, so make sure that you have everything written out. If you have a 5-year plan on buying your first home, or you're buying your second home, or starting to invest in real estate, make sure that you're putting everything into action, but first writing it down. It's great to have a goal, but you have to have a strategy. How are you getting to this goal? How are you making it there? I have a video on vision boards. Go check it out if you haven't done so already, but it was really good about putting things in the air and acting on it, seeing something every day. Usually when you see something every day, you're more inclined to work on it every day and more propelled to act on it. So with my vision board, I make sure that I'm writing down everything in a journal. Or if I want this car or this house, how am I getting to that point? What is my goal? What is my strategy? Am I paying off old debt? Am I paying off the current car? Am I refinancing? Am I saving a little more? Am I doing overtime? Put that in your plan. Put that into writing so that you know that you are being deliberate in every action that you take. If I'm doing overtime on this day, it's to put this much away to get this out of it. So be deliberate in your actions, your goal, and your mindset, because that is what is going to propel you forward and get you the life that you want. Next thing I would say that I learned is working is great, but know when to switch it off. Be present in your moment, your time, your life, because things pass you by. Whether you have children and they're growing up so fast, whether you have family and you don't get a chance to see them, know when to switch off work, because sometimes you're sitting there putting all these hours into somebody else's business. You're going into work, into this school or this college or wherever it is, into something that you do not ultimately own. I'm very deliberate with my time, and take this with a grain of salt, because what I'm saying to you is something that I learned along the way. If you are working, if you're going into a job or going into work or anything like that, and you've been there for like 5-10 years, look back at yourself and look back at your finances. Did you putting in these 5 years or 10 years give you the life that you ultimately want? Or are you watching this video thinking of how my life can be better? Okay? I mean, it's funny to think about it like that, but it's true. Just think back. You've been working at your job 2 years. In these 2 years, do you see yourself getting the life that you want? In these 5 years that you put into this job, do you see you getting the life that you want, or do you want more, or is it not enough? If the answer is no, it's not enough, then it's time to know when to switch off. You're going home and you're stressing out about this job when you could be taking that time at home or rest or whatever it is to either spend time with family, or more importantly, start something for yourself, because that is big, that is huge. I used to go into my job and be so tired and drained that I had no time to plot and think about what my next move was. So remember that when you're putting in these 40 hours a week or whatever, 60 hours a week at this job, stop killing yourself. I'm sorry to say it like that. Stop stressing yourself. I'd rather you work your 40 hours and take 20 of those hours to work on starting your own business. Because at the end of the day, that business can stop, fail, that business can move wherever it wants to move, that business can do whatever it needs to do, and you have no control over that because it's not yours. I will always push entrepreneurship and starting your own business, because I'm speaking the truth, guys. I'm telling you guys the truth, the things that I've learned. Stop putting all these extra hours into this job. Know when to switch it off. Yes, do your hours, make your money, but switch it off when you come home and start plotting on your next move. Plot on what you're going to start for yourself. Plot on your next business venture. And I'm telling you, you're going to reap the benefits in the long run. Last and final thing that I learned is that it is never too late to start. Make sure you're starting when the time is right for you. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop thinking you're late. When I started my business, everybody was into their career or going further in their education, and I just felt like I was left behind. But in reality, when you look back, you realize that you're on the track that you're supposed to be. You just have to remember that it's never too late to start, whether you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever age that you're starting this, or you're starting this business venture, or starting this time in your life, or maybe even thinking about going back to school. It's not too late. It's not too late to switch careers. It's not too late to start school again. It's not too late, because ultimately you decide on where your path is going to lead. Okay guys, so I'm sorry to interrupt, but honestly, I actually forgot to end the video. I think I started eating or something, and then I just completely forgot. But it's okay. We're gonna make something good out of a bad situation. Now, it's rare that people actually make it to the end of my videos. I don't know why. I'm giving you guys such great tips. But if you did make it to the end of the video, I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 2 $50 Amazon gift cards. Link down below what you hope to learn in your 30s, what you have learned in your 30s, and make sure you're following me on Instagram, and make sure you're following my channel. I will announce the winner on February 15th. The giveaway rules will be down in the description, and good luck. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in the bottom, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.